Hey guys, it's Chris from Enola Gaye, and it's time for Valken Debrief Live.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Valken Debrief Airsoft live show, episode number 79. I don't know if I remember how to operate the board anymore. It's been like a month that we haven't broadcasted.
Okay. Did anybody notice that they were gone?
Yes. Anybody notice? Probably not.
No.
We're not that famous. We're not that important.
Another thing you tune into when you're sitting on the toilet, scrolling through your feed, like, I've got 20 minutes to drop. I'll watch this.
Yeah. I am the Kaiju, the Supreme Commander of the Valken Alliance, and to my right, your left, Darth Valken, Airsoft Director, here at Airsoft Headquarters.
It's Darth Valken.
Dark
Lord of Airsoft.
Dark Lord of Airsoft. Okay, we're going to change that.
Magician, knockoff artist.
All right, Dark Lord of Airsoft. I'll make sure we get that changed on your name tag.
Yeah.
So, thank you for joining us. We got Lucky Branch in the house, Samantha Riggedy, Ethan Vaughn, thanks for joining. Michael Weissenbaker. Hey, Texas Raptors with Spindletop. What's up? Ran with a couple of your guys down at Southern Front in Texas. Tim Green in the house, Midwest Commander. Of
Bomb tag.
Yes. So, tag your friends, share the show, get them in here. What's up, Mr. David Lyman Fry the third? I'm sorry.
It's not chocolate. It just so happens to be, what are these things called?
Blizzards?
No. It's called something else.
Blast.
Blast. That's
Blasts. They're called blasts.
It's a Sonic Blast, chocolate chip cookie dough.
Yep. I'm back on keto, so he's torturing me over here. The Overachiever of the Night, first person to post in the chat tonight, is Samantha Riggedy. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If not, I apologize. I butcher a lot of names. So, Samantha was the first in to comment in the chat. So she gets the Overachiever of the Night award. Kelly Marie, what is going on? Oh, Greg from Breachpoint Productions. So, I don't know Greg as Greg. I know him as Cookie. So, you need to put Cookie in there somewhere, Greg. So,
I get it all for the nookie, so you can take that cookie and stick it up your.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we were talking about 90s artists. I mean,
well, we
Limp
were.
Bizkit.
We were. Put your favorite 90s artists in the chat. And hey, what up, Freddie from Veterans for Airsoft? We got Tim Man Elder from Nemesis Milsim in the house. If you'd like to support the show, head on over to ValkenAlliance.com. Just click on the shop. We got some custom tees that we print in-house. All proceeds go to supporting the show and our wonderful budget.
His food budget. Oh, that Valken compound had to come from somewhere.
It did. So far, set it up at 2 events. Once at the division event at Breach Point and D14 for Southern Front, which you were not there for either.
Family calls, duty calls.
I know. There was a kid that wanted you to sign his gun. He's like, "Can Darth Valken sign my gun? Where's Darth Valken? I have a silver Sharpie."
Boy.
Oh, Rich Gully from Fightertown, Arizona, joining us. What's up, Rich? So, share the show. Get your friends in here. Freddie Flex. Kaiju looking good, brother. Curls for the girls. That is correct.
Like these curls.
So, do you think they care where we've been? Why we haven't broadcasted for 3 weeks?
I mean, some people would like to know, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, 3 weeks ago, on the road down to Texas, and I was in the middle of setting up the compound at the hospital in Mineral Wells. So, missed the time window there, and then went back down to Texas the very next weekend.
You were like literally here for
2 days. 2 days. And went right back down to the same area about an hour east in Sanger at D14. Set up the Valken compound down there at AMS's event Southern Front.
Had the high ground. You had the
Yes.
high ground.
Saw that rain coming. And I'm glad I was on the high ground.
You even had gators. You were prepared.
Yep. I was prepared. I was a good Boy Scout. And then last week, I just had to take some personal pay time off to go enjoy myself at Star Wars Celebration in Chicago. Yes.
But you still got to bump into some airsoft homies down there.
I did. Ryan from Nemesis Milsim, him and his wife Ruth opened their house to me where I could stay. It wasn't couch surfing. They had like a queen size bed in their guest room. So I was actually living large. I'm used to sleeping on the couch.
Nice.
Tweenie from Cobra Airsoft Legion, he was there. He introduced me to Anthony Forrest, the original sand trooper that Obi-Wan mesmerized.
It's not the droids you're looking for.
These are not the droids we're looking for. Move along. We got Brian Daniel. Thank you for joining us. Torian Ben, thanks for joining. Man, we got
like it's from Game of Thrones.
we got a lot of new viewers. Share the show. Tag your friends. It's real easy to tag your friends just like this. Let's see, who shall I tag? I'm going to tag Greg Alexander. Let's see, I'm going to tag...
Tag his personal or his business account?
Oh, his personal one, of course. We'll tag Dials.
Nigel.
Nigel. Who else can we tag? I tagged Woody. Oh, Javier. Let's get him in here.
Yeah, I was thinking, so they're finally doing a live action Dora the Explorer movie?
Swipe or no swiping? Really?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
It's the... remember Transformers last night? The young actress that was in there?
Mm-hmm.
That's Dora.
Really? Wow. So before we get too far into our geekdom and our 90s references, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break. Share the show. We'll be right back as we introduce our special guest for episode number 79. So hang on to your butts.
And just drop the kids off at the pool.
Yep. We'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. One for the money, two for the show. I'm Alex from Gunfire. Valken Debrief, here we go. Hi guys, I'm Alex from Gunfire, one of the best retail shops in Europe. You can find us on every social media. You can find me on Instagram, that guy from Gunfire. Check us out.
back to the Valken Debrief Airsoft live show, episode number 79. And as you can see, coming live from the Midwest, Alex Paterakis from MiR Tactical. Can you hear us, Alex?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Did I pronounce your last name correctly?
What?
Did I
my name?
Did I say your last name properly?
It's Paterakis, but it's
Paterakis. Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's Greek.
you pronounce it phonetically as you read it. So.
Pretty much.
And here comes Mr. Darth Valken.
Yes.
Back on stage. There he is.
Beautiful chair he has, by the way.
What's that?
It's a beautiful chair that he has.
Yes, the brown leather. It's supple.
It's supple. We got Sisu watching us all the way from the northeast
All
up
right.
in New England. So how's Spartan, Sisu? And how those younglings? So yes, Tim Green, no bomb tagging. For those of you just joining us for the first time, we got a lot of new viewers. We got Alex from MiR Tactical is with us tonight. Where are you based out of, Alex?
Buffalo Grove, Illinois, which is about 20 minutes north of O'Hare Airport, about 40 minutes from Chicago, north of Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Chicago.
Chirac.
Yeah.
Dude, the taxes there were insane.
Oh, I heard about the rental car tax.
Dude, I was charged like $140 in tax on the rental car.
You're welcome. Okay.
Oh my gosh, it was freaking ridiculous.
To hide all the dead bodies, that costs money.
It is. But thanks to Nemesis, I didn't have to stay in a hotel.
Oh, that's good.
So I could actually wash my clothes. So I didn't have to come back all stinky like some of the other convention goers. They were pretty bad. They were
I don't
right.
think you can avoid that at all.
No, you can't avoid that.
Deodorant is none of that.
Nope. So, Alex, for those in the chat and watching our live stream that have no idea who you are or what you do, just give us a quick little background info about yourself.
Yeah. So I run MiR Tactical, and MiR Tactical is a retail store, online store, and event producer over here in the Midwest. We started out back as a team. I got a little patch here if you guys can see that, doing Russian impressions back in the day. KLMK, by the way, is the comfiest camouflage. If everyone to play in pajamas, KLMK. And then we turned that into an event production company in 2011. From there, we opened up an online store in about 2013, and then 2014 opened a full retail store. And then recently, up until, and we always did events throughout, the entire history of MiR Tactical. And recently, as of last year, we started to do, we went from about 4 events a year to about 18 airsoft events this year. We're going to be doing 4 to 5 paintball events. I know, boo, whatever. And then 2 Nerf events this year.
Hey, it's okay. We have some big ballers that are watching the show. They come and watch.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know you started out as an event company. I always thought you were retail.
We used to throw 1 event a year, and Pandora's Box was our longest one. It's 9. We're at 9 now, and we did that at a old barn complex at one point. But then and then we ran events for about 2 years, online store, and then the retail store. So that's how we came to be.
Andrew in the chat says, "What is a MiR? I think I got an acute case of it once in college. Had to get shots." Oh my gosh! What does MiR stand for? Where does that come from? Where's that name come from?
It was just the team because it was based on the team that we were running, and we were doing Russian impressions back in the day. So MiR means peace in Russian. That's not exactly what it means, really, but that's what we were running with. So all of our impressions were all Russian based.
Oh, okay.
We were the bad guys.
And so when you put the team together, that's when you started playing airsoft?
Yeah. So yeah, that's it was kind of, there was a field called Faith Field, which was kind of like an outlaw field. It was in the back of a church over in Rockford. And there was a bunch of teams up there at one point, and that's how we all got started, was this field that we go every Saturday or Sunday. And it was every week. It was free, and it had a bunch of hills, everything, and that's how everyone kind of on the team got started.
Does the team still exist, or
No,
okay?
the team does not still exist. When we opened the company up, people, like all teams, however, people ebbs and flows through teams. People get babies, people get married, people run out of money, people move. So through the history of when the company started, a lot of those things started happening for a lot of people, and they chose to move on with and take care of their kids. I, for one, was too young to have kids and or a wife yet, so I got stuck running the company.
Yep. You don't have a family, Alex, so you gotta do the adult life. You gotta be
Right.
an adult.
Correct.
So, what kind of services do you provide at the retail location?
Yeah, so everything. We do custom services, so custom work on guns. We fix about, I think our last tally was about 1,000 to 1,200 guns a year. We have 3 full-time techs, so we do a lot of custom work, a lot of fixes for guns. We're starting to get into laser engraving. We're going to be getting into Cerakoting here soon, do some custom work there. We offer, full retail service, air fills. We do paintball, a little bit of paintball, do air guns, and then obviously primarily we do airsoft. But then what we use the store for too is kind of to help, the new players out, because besides the retail store and besides the events, we run open plays at 3 different paintball fields in the area, and then our own facility down in Kankakee. So we're doing pretty much everything to kind of build this Chicago community, at least so everyone has a chance to play.
Okay, so that's interesting that how you have a retail location, but most other stores that have fields associated with them are co-located, but you're actually cooperating with 3 other paintball fields not associated with MiR for open plays, and then you said you have your own area at Kankakee. Yeah, that's Mahalo.
a dog food plant. Yeah, it's a mouthful, as they say. It was a General Mills dog food plant. So we're working with a 501c down there that uses it for law enforcement training. So our whole history is kind of having the retail store, but then borrowing space from others and helping them grow. One of the fields is Paintball Explosion up in East Dundee that has the Nuketown field. That's what they're kind of famous for. Which Tippmann,
from the video game.
Tippmann donated to them. But yeah, it's been great because it's offered a few different, a lot of the people coming into it don't want to do these big operations and stuff like that. So having the diversity of going to all these different fields and feeling comfortable and not feel overwhelmed just with, 10, 15-minute games has really helped grow the community out here.
Well, cool. William Soda says, "Where's the skull?" So I want a skull at the Op Sunset. It is soaking in bleach right now. It is soaking in bleach to melt away all the junk, the sinews. There's still meat on that thing.
Supposed to boil it though.
Boil it?
Yeah.
Should I boil it after I bleach it? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll boil it. We'll put it in a turkey fryer and just burn it off. Burn. So here's a question. Because we're seeing, pro shops come and go, retail stores come and go. How important do you think it is for a retail location to have longevity? How important it is to be able to host local events, either at a field on site or like you do with your open place?
Yeah, I think more people need to take advantage of the local paintball fields in the area and get them to do airsoft because they have all the infrastructure already. It's very hard to open an airsoft only type field. Now there are a few here in Chicago, and they are done elsewhere. But the paintball fields around the area always have the infrastructure already, so it makes it easier to kind of borrow space and get that going. And I think for a pro shop in a local area, it's very key to have somewhere in the local area to play. So either partnering or opening their own fields is key to keep a pro shop open. We went through this cycle where there was a few different retail shops, and then the popularity picked up quite a bit. Everyone and their mother opened an airsoft shop, and then you saw things decline a little bit when the industry contracted slightly. But people said, well, that was the decline of the airsoft, and airsoft's on a decline. I don't think that's the case. I think just things consolidated a little bit, and the people that were just opening stores to just to open a store kind of fell through, and that's why people are thinking that airsoft is dying. But ultimately, I think it's stronger than ever. And with games, I know it's kind of PUBG and Fortnite and stuff. I think those games are actually getting kids back into the sport. Now they're not going to the big ops and stuff like that, but they're wanting to try out airsoft in real life, and that's where the paintball fields or even any of these local fields are key to maintain that interest.
Yeah, because Josh, you owned a shop, 400 FPS, and we can relate to what Alex is saying. I mean, there was this big drop off. There was all these people that thought, oh, airsoft, that would be
jump on that.
That would be a good business model. Mm-hmm. There were so many out of the garage eBay sellers out of their home, and they were just tanking the industry.
I mean, ultimately, they you acquire a bunch of dead inventories that's not moving, so a lot of your capital is wrapped up in inventory. They don't have a good tech program. Some don't stand behind their the warranty there works. So I mean, obviously you get a customer in a couple times, but you get bounce off, they go somewhere else. So you kind of have to have a really good solid business plan that has to be customer centric.
Customer service, baby.
Yeah.
So when you started working with these 3 paintball fields, were they doing airsoft at all on their own, or was that a new thing when you approached them?
Yeah, I mean, some were. There was a company out here called MAG, was Midwest Airsoft Guerrillas, that we took over, that was doing the local fields. But we took those from 10 person, 20 person. Sometimes they got up to 50, 60, but we got those into consistent, through the store, through web marketing, everything like that. Those open plays up to about 120, 130 sometimes during the week, during the summer times. And the paintball fields, a lot of space is at a premium, especially in Chicago. So we had to prove out a point to get them certain minimums to make it viable for them to want to keep us in those places. So we had a lot of work on our hands, but that's where I say the local stores are very good to kind of, not everyone has Facebook, not everyone looks at Instagram, and Instagram really just tells you a picture story, doesn't tell you the full, what's going on. And so that's why the store is the local store is very important, because you can hand, like what we do, we have so much going on, big events, open plays, everything like that. We hand out, hundreds of, sometimes even thousands over a few months of just flyers of where can you go play? And building that up was really important to gain confidence of the airsoft fields or paintball fields. But what's tricky a little bit too is you really have to put in the work to build those numbers up, because the worst thing, and we've had bad experiences before to where, we just didn't market well, and we've had to adapt and we fix those things. It's the worst thing you can happen to a person when they go and try to create, a field and build it up, is you get 2 people to show up. And that's always you're I'm building this up, because then they go, oh, there was nobody there and things like that. So it's key to kind of build the hype. If you're thinking about starting and going to your local paintball fields, it's good to build up the hype and maybe do more infrequent events like we used to. We used to do every other weekend. And then once the demand was there, we did every weekend.
Right. And I noticed on your Facebook page under MiR Tactical, and you click on your events tab, you actually have a very extensive list of events, and you're listing, the multi-day scenario events, aka MilSim. You're listing the open plays. They're very informative. If you want to go check those out. On these open plays, are there rentals available, or is it bring your own gear, or?
Yeah, one one of the things that we started with is no rentals, but then we determined that actually we're getting a lot more people now is just having rental gear available. Most people want to try it out, especially moms with their kids just want to try it out. They don't want to go through the whole investment of buying, a gun, bag, all this stuff, right? So rentals, I think, are key for any field to at least have some. And what we've been finding out with some of our fields is the 20, 30 rentals we have is not enough sometimes because you get parties that want to bring their friends, things like that. So rentals, I think, in any field are key, at least starting out, at least having some for people that either their guns shoot too hot or people that want to bring a friend that don't have the money yet to,
Gotcha.
buy their own equipment. We're not sure yet if they want to play airsoft.
When you do your multi-day events, like Fort McClellan, Seneca Army Depot, what are you looking for as far as AOs go when you're, looking for someplace to go? And do you primarily stay in that Midwest to Northeast area, or do you venture down south at all?
Well, yeah, we're everywhere this time. I mean, we're up in Milwaukee, Iowa, maybe Michigan this year, working out New York, over in Seneca. We're going to be down at, we have the second slot for GTI, so we'll be down at GTI in November. We're looking, as south as Georgia, Florida. We have McClellan, which is in Alabama. Pretty much everything now west or east of Colorado. So that's, and we just pick locations out, like Seneca is one that we found, or revitalized. It's just, a lot of people are looking for cool, interesting places to play. The dynamic of these 2-day, 3-day scenario events has changed significantly from what the player, wants and or can afford now. So we're always looking at places that are affordable for us, so we can pass the savings on to the players, so they don't have to pay $150, $200. They can, I think our max right now is $130 for the, a 2-day or 3-day scenario.
So do you think there's like an oversaturation of event companies throughout the U.S.? Because I noticed there's multiple companies having events at the same venue. I mean, what makes a kid, I say a kid because I'm 45 and everybody younger than me is a kid, to choose between one event host versus another when you have 3 or 4 at the same AO?
Yeah, I mean, Shelby, let's use the Shelby as an example, right? Everyone does a game at Shelby. I think the AOs are just really good AOs, and everyone has their own fans, and different groups do things differently. Now, coming into the sport, someone might not know, or they may ask their friends, and it's just word of mouth. And I don't think there's an overabundance. I think, just people, I like that if people think that there's an overabundance, because ultimately that's more people, more opportunities for people to play. A lot of what we kind of found out over these past couple of years is that more and more people want to go more local to things. So you'll see really, so people that are not traveling anymore the 16 hours. Now, some people are, but people want to stay within that 4 to 5 hour range. So for a lot of people, that's a determining factor rather than an AO location or a promoter. Is something really close to me, something unique. And people just don't want to drive as much anymore, at least what we found with some of our events. And that's why we're kind of scattered all over the place and can run games, every 2 weeks and not have to worry about someone missing out in Seneca and then going to Fort McClellan, which are, in this case, are 2 weeks difference.
Gotcha. How large is your event staff when you hold the multi-day events?
What was that? Sorry?
How large is your event staff?
Oh, yeah. It can range. We try to get one ref per every, 20 to 40 people. We do a combination of things. Our commanders are paid. They are staff, so our generals are staffed. And then we have field commanders, and that they're proxy refs, and then we have actual physical refs. And then for, bulk things like chronographs and stuff like that, we use other teams to kind of help, move, 14 to 15 chronos sometimes that's like the one thing people hate about airsoft, and people wait too long to chrono, is, getting through chrono and getting out in the field. So, yeah, so based on the event, but we try to be between one ref for 20 to 40 people. Some of those we like to bulk up a little bit. In the mall that we do in Milwaukee, because there's more corners and more intricacies, we try to change that up a little bit. But, yeah, so that's where we are with that.
One thing I've seen a lot over the past year is venues, we'll say closing, because they're being sold, finally demolished, wherever. As an event host, how do you deal with something like that when you've gone back to a venue 2-3 times, you've built the hype, people love to play there, and then now, for whatever reason, it's gone.
Let's say like MUTC or Grayling or even Guardian Center, right? So those are the three that come to mind. It's just you have to move on. You have to constantly be scouting. And if you stop scouting, you get caught with your tail between your legs and you miss out. So we're constantly adding venues. And if something does happen to one of them, we have 1 or 2 more to replace it right away. So we're constantly talking, bringing things back. Some of these places we brought back from the dead, some are brand new. So we're constantly throughout the year not content with what we currently have. So we just
and they actually allow you out of the office, out of the retail site to go scouting?
Oh, absolutely, all the time. And we'll fly places, we'll jump on places. I've had one where the guy said that I have 15 minutes in an hour, and I've driven, just jumped in a car straight and got there. I had to do a lot of negotiating. Some of these venues aren't cheap, unfortunately, for everybody. So again, we just constantly are trying to get new places for players to play and keep it fresh. For example, I know this is crossover into paintball, but we just did a paintball event at Fort Monmouth, right? And there's a lot. What I was really impressed about is that paintball players don't get to play those kind of venues, and the amount of players that we had, at least 1/4 of them were players that hadn't played in over 4 or 5 years because they got bored. So that was really cool to see those people kind of come back. And I think that's what keeping AOs fresh and even finding new ones for people is key.
Where are the other, because I know we got some paintballers watching. What are you said you're doing 3 or 4 other paintball events this year. Where are those going to be at?
Well, I'm going back, so they'll find out, but I'm going back most likely to New Jersey. So we'll have one there. We're going to have one in MagFed only will be in Fort McClellan. We're working on that. We're at a different spot in Fort McClellan. We're working on California on some places, and we're working up here in Illinois on one place right now. So working on that. And then Nerf, if you're ever interested in Nerf, we're going to be doing a Nerf game up in the sanitarium that we have up in Sheboygan in Wisconsin. So we're going to be doing a Nerf game up there, our first one, and I'm really excited about that.
How do you keep track of all the darts? In a Nerf arena, it's easy. It's enclosed. It's right there.
Well, have you ever bought? I've actually bought one of those 500 pack, dart kits from Amazon. It's not that expensive.
Yeah,
when
but
you buy it in bulk.
Your Nerf guns are Uber motors, Uber, wiring harness. Your things are freaking.
They're not intimidating. They don't look like real guns. Yeah.
Right.
And it's a foam projectile. I absolutely agree.
One thing I want to bring up, though, and this is for everyone watching, is that go back to the open plays and the events that we have. The one thing I think we're most proud about through the events and through the open plays and everything like that is the camaraderie that is built up in these events. Because you can imagine a kid, mom dropping him off at an open play facility, has no friends that do this, everything like that, and being nervous, not knowing what to expect. And that's the one thing that I really, really love about what we do with our events and what our refs do and the player bases that we have is they welcome new players in and make them feel comfortable. Because if they don't feel comfortable, then they're never going to come back. And they may not have friends. They may not have, a lot of friends. They may not have friends that like this thing. So being nice and kind of, being patient with new players is absolutely key, especially if you want to see the sport grow. And luckily for us, the player base we have here in the Midwest and all the events we've been at, everyone's been really welcoming of new people and kind of, gun breaks. Oh, here's my gun. Here's how you do this. Making sure you put your barrel cover on when you're on the field, catching that. So, that's one thing I wish everyone, kind of pass on is just help new players. I know they're sometimes kind of annoying. I had a kid throw a smoke grenade in the back of some guy's neck. It burnt his neck a little.
Oh my God.
Well, they don't. It's probably his first time pulling that pin.
So, but that's just the one thing that we really try to like to have our refs just be there for all the players and for the players there to help those kids.
No, a lot of people don't realize that. I mean, everybody wants to kind of have that high level of play, mature players, but you keep it isolated and insulated from everybody like that, it's never going to grow. Like you said, people will have kids, grow up, move on, and then your community will just keep shrinking. Nobody wants to be nice to the kid or show them or foster them, and it's especially in this day and age. I mean, hell, they just had like all of Denver schools shut down over a threat for one day yesterday, and for mothers to drop their kids off at an open play, it's like trying to explain it to mom and not use like toy gun or airsoft. Oh, you're gonna drop your kid off in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of older and middle-aged men that like to play dress up, and they're gonna chase your child through the woods, and then they're gonna shoot at them. They might cry, but they'll be fine. Just they have insurance, right?
Everything's waiverable.
So
we actually have a question from
young players, please.
What's that?
Be nice and help young players out, because they're going to be the ones you get to shoot at in the future, and if they don't exist, then you have no one to shoot at.
Yeah, I think there was, what was it? 2017, I think, for whatever reason, there was an exodus of experienced players that are in their 30s.
We're going to go play with real guns. IDPA, IPSEC.
Yeah, and there wasn't that generation to help encourage this new, younger crowd. So, but I think it's starting to balance and come back again. They've had their babies, they've gone through their job transitions, and they started coming back in 2018. So
they're trying to relive the old glory.
What you got to do to get a hold of the young people, just say yeet a bunch of times and start Fortnite dancing, and just yeet, and then ba ba ba, and that gets them going. So you just got to have a lot of energy, Ric Flair energy,
and just do the floss with them.
Yeah,
in the field.
I got him.
Matt Snyder actually asked, "How full is the roster for Pandora?"
Oh, that one, we're about 55% now. I just did the calculation on that. Pandora's our oldest event. That's at Sherwood Forest in LaPorte, Indiana. It's actually right next to Virgil. Virgil over in, he's got a great facility at Blast Camp over there. They're like next door neighbors. I think they're 30 minutes away from each other.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jonathan Brewer says, "Hey, lots of us have kids and play still." Yes, you do, Jonathan. And, I'm seeing a lot more father-son.
Yeah, definitely.
Combos coming out. I'd like to see a lot more mother-daughter come out, or father-daughter.
We have like 5 or 6 mother-sons though now.
Really?
Play somewhere field. Yeah, and they buy like the nicest things. Like they always buy like the high-end stuff for themselves.
I believe it.
So that's always fun. I actually had a mom want to buy too much stuff, and her son said, "Mom, we have enough, all right?" She's like, "No, we don't."
We want to be prepared. We're not going to go out there and be like a bunch of amateurs.
Rich Gully says, "Airsoft and paintball fields are just cheap daycare for busy moms." I mean,
well, they could be, but they're not. I mean,
the thing is,
that's where Nerf is great.
Infrastructure. They already have it all done.
Yeah.
You get your clothes a little painty, but whatever. But if you want to grow the sport, you have to have more options for people to play at, because people aren't going to be able to drive an hour or 2 hours away on the regular.
Sorry, one of our monitors was about to go to sleep.
So, but I'm curious about the Nerf. Is it like full? Is it one day open play, like full scale force on force?
Which one? Sorry, Pandora.
Your Nerf game.
Oh, the Nerf game. Yeah, we're just going to do a large-scale force-on-force. We're doing it in a sane asylum, and that's why I'm doing it there first to test it out, because it's kind of everything's inside. So
And
Nerf darts aren't going to be flying, in trees
do you have
or
like
grass.
FPS limits, mod limits, RPS?
I'm working on that because I don't want people like you coming shooting 900 feet per second and blasting a hole through a child's chest. And that's not the goal.
Like Josh's Nerf guns sound like, a micro gun spinning out. There goes that dart.
Well, like it just landed today. It's what I'm trying to get home to. I just got the new Reaper shotgun from Nerf, the Overwatch series.
The Overwatch licensed one, yeah.
Yes.
You were so bad. Oh my gosh. Samantha says she got her 10-year-old daughter out playing airsoft. Tim Green says combat camera. Angela Scott, her and her kids play all the time. She's got two kids. And Tim Green, blips and chips. I don't understand that reference.
That's something with Rick and Morty.
Oh.
That's like Dave and Buster's in Rick and Morty land.
Gotcha.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, cool.
But, the one experiment that everyone goes through is trying to bring their girlfriend to play airsoft.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that works or doesn't work. I think it works in a way that they either join them or works in a way that they say, I don't want to do this. You go do this by yourself, and now I forgive you for, going play airsoft.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two that work. And then there's ones that just tell you to stay home, which those don't work. But it's interesting. I've seen, the guys at work, and I've seen them really, really try to make it work, and sometimes it just doesn't work.
That reminds me, it was a boyfriend and girlfriend that sent in that Mark III because the gas tube rattled. My girlfriend's gas tube doesn't rattle, but mine does. Can you fix it?
Yeah.
I'm like, it has no function.
It's like
But it rattles. Okay, do you want me to just
Take it
pull
out?
it out?
No. I haven't.
We want you to silence it. I'm like, oh my God.
Have you ever taken a real gun and
Oh my goodness. Any AOs you're looking at that you'd like to share with us that might be new?
Well, I'll keep the ones that are there. So, I'm working on a few others, but those are top secret. I got to keep things secret. You know how the streets are watching kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm here to ask questions, not get answers. I see how it is.
Well,
That's right.
well, here's your answer.
It's like
Secrets.
It's like Stephen Colbert at the episode 9 panel. I have all these questions. I wasn't walking away with answers, was I?
No.
Hey, but we do have our Airsoft Factory open. That's going to be a regular open play every month, so you can check those out. That's in Kankakee, home of a dog food plant. I think it's haunted. We found a ghost on a GoPro.
Must smell
We
amazing.
found a barrel with a dog in it, like not a dog physically in it, but a dog spirit in there. It's weird, and we run the haunted house out of there. So
Nice.
that's
Oh,
cool.
wow. What's the one with all the stacked containers that had the interior red lights? Where's that at? I saw a picture.
Oh, that is we also take advantage of. There's a laser tag facility in Paintball Explosion where our main open play is, and that's indoors. So they allow us to do one event a month, one event every 2 months at their indoor facility, which is about 30,000 square feet, and just containers on containers on containers with LED lights. And the fun part is I have to clean it up before the next day because they have laser taggers going through there.
Yeah, that's good.
So, chrono in FPS or joules?
We always use joules now. We use 32-gram BBs for everything.
Is that
It's
the
always
heaviest
fun.
weight allowed? Is 32?
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing is everyone doesn't know physics sometimes, and they go, "Well, if I use a heavier BB and it shoots a lower FPS, can I just use a heavier BB? Or what if I use 20s and you're chroning?" I've become a physics professor overnight with that, but
Yeah.
we're still
You
good.
shut everybody up pretty quick when you can do it all on a dry eraser board.
Is that meme where the lady's looking at all the numbers?
Yeah. All right. Another fast box question. Tamiya or T connector?
I think Tamiya, because there's more just options with Tamiyas. Obviously, people replace them with the T connector, but for mass use, always use the Tamiya and then customize them yourself with a T-connector.
They're saying all guns will be T-connector by 2020. Is that what they were saying in Europe?
In Europe, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're not in Europe. We eat freedom fries here.
We've been on the moon, son.
There also seems to be a trend going to indoor, going down to 300 FPS. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, we in our open plays we go about 350. At our big events, we still go 400. I mean, let's be honest. You're indoor. You're having really close engagements anyway. So is 300 feet really the BB going to get there that much slower? Probably not. I think what they're mainly doing is for safety concerns for some people, as well as for the younger kids. Like that's why paintball has like 50 cal. It's less of an impact to a kid. You know, it's just something to try out.
I mean,
Airsoft
300 is really intimidating to the 12 and under group. I mean, but yeah, 300. It's absolutely a safety thing. It's nothing about how quickly it gets there.
Yeah, but we'll see. We use 350 right now.
But if you know physics, you just throw in a 1-2. It goes faster.
That's why mesh goggles are a no-no. I really condemn.
Oh no,
that.
absolutely not.
Please don't use
Don't
those.
want splintered plastic in your eyeballs.
No, because kids will use 12-gram BBs and those babies blow up.
Yeah. So, we're getting close to the end of our time. We're not quite done yet. We're going to cut to a quick commercial, and then we're going to come back. And we got a lot of events in April and May to share with everyone out there. We're going to be putting the links to those Facebook events in there. Alex, he's got 3 coming up in April and May, and he'll be back as well right after the commercial break, and we'll be bantering about events. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
What's up, guys? Z House from Gun Gamers. Check out the Valken Debrief Thursdays at 8 p.m. and praise Judy.
And we are back, episode number 79, Valken Debrief Airsoft live show with our special guest, Alex Paterakis.
Bingo, my friend.
Bam! I finally got a last name right. So we're running into our event segment, covering all events from April to May, which there are a lot.
Put enough in here. My goodness.
Well, I had to make up for you not being,
I see like Colorado's really lacking here, man.
Yeah, I know.
And we don't have anything in the Rockies.
I know. That needs to change. All right, Josh.
Yeah, it does. All right.
Talk us through about events.
Smokeout Airsoft Milsim, April 20th, in the Mid-Missouri Airsoft event at Mid-Missouri Airsoft and Simulation Site in Lawson, Missouri. Next up is Operation Bone Strike, April 26th to the 28th. In the southern region, this is a Third Coast Airsoft event in Vicksburg, Mississippi.
I want to go to that so bad. It's like Sal was like, "You gotta come," and I'm like, "I got family issues.
Mississippi.
I got family commitments. I want to go there so bad."
The Wild, April 27th, Appalachian region at Ballahawk Airsoft event in Chesapeake, Virginia. So what do you think the Wild is?
It is an Old West role-playing centric event.
Damn.
At least that's what the description says.
So
on
they're
their
pumping
Facebook
up
page.
those Elite Force smoke wagon numbers. Those are rookie numbers, son. You gotta pump those numbers up.
Well, I think it's like a Red Dead Redemption 2 type airsoft event. Is basically what it is.
Break out them shotguns, baby. Is it Jolette of Liberation 3 Elwood Extraction?
Where do you come up with these names, Alex? Do you have like a name generator?
Google.
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 It's French for Google.
Jolette Liberation. April 27th to 28th in the Midwest region. It's a MiR Tactical event. And is it Joliet?
Joliet?
Joliet.
That's at the prison, right?
That's at the prison. Yeah, built in 1852. It's all
Dude,
limestone.
Tell paintballers that you'll have an event in a prison and you'll double those numbers. They've never played in a prison.
Because they want to play prison rules. Pathfinder, May 3rd to the 5th in the Midwest region. This is a Centurion Milsim event in Pitcher, Oklahoma. All right.
Yes, I will be commanding the FEB
I love how
faction for that event.
Bubba, just his ops are just one word. It's just
It's like Prince.
Centurion
Or Share.
Prince, or yeah.
Oh.
Pathfinder.
A little birdie told me that we might have Centurion on the show next week. So,
Oh my gosh. Do we have someone standing by with the censor button?
we love you, Bubba.
McClellan. Is that McClellan Initiative?
McClellan.
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 Initiative 2. Tritium Mist. Ooh, it's radioactive smoke, baby.
Yeah. You might grow a third tail.
I've been to what's it called? GTI. So May 4th through the 5th in the southern region, MiR Tactical event in Anniston, Alabama.
Right next to Talladega.
Talladega.
Oh,
I want to go
NASCAR.
fast.
You're not first or last.
No, they're second, third.
Operation Fallen Angels, May 4th through the 5th in the Mid-East region. This is Lion Claw's event at Zulu 24 in New Windsor, New York. Operation Tailwind 3, May 11th in the Midwest region. Nemesis Milsim event at Black Ops Bristol in Bristol, Wisconsin.
Bristol, Wisconsin.
You gonna have a cheese bar?
I almost went to Wisconsin on Sunday, but all of a sudden it snowed, and I didn't want to take my little
5
rental
inches
car on
of
the
snow.
highway.
5 inches. Wow.
Yeah, it was significant.
That's like heavy
It's
snow
like
too.
fun fact about Wisconsin: you can bring your kid to drink in bars as long as the bartender will serve them.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Don't underage drink, kids.
PSA been brought to you by Alex Paterakis.
Conference
And,
5,
Patrick Starr.
May 17th through the 19th in the Midwest region. This is a Valken Airsoft and Cobra Airsoft Legion event at Blast Camp Paintball and Airsoft in Hobart, Indiana.
Nike Missile Base.
Because missile base, baby.
Yep.
Fertile Crescent 5, May 18th through the 19th in the Appalachian region. This is a Ballahawk Airsoft event in Chesapeake, Virginia. The Seneca Redirective.
Seneca.
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 Seneca Army Depot.
Seneca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
May 18th to the 19th in the Northeast region. This is a MiR Tactical event at Seneca. Seneca.
Appalachian.
Army Depot in Romulus, New York. Airsoft Palooza, May 18th in the Southern region. This is an Evike Outpost event at High Ground Airsoft in Houston, Texas.
I will be there. Woo! I get to stay at Casa de Kurt.
Casa de Kurt.
Yes.
They got a hot tub.
Oh, does he?
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll bring my trunks.
Bring your trunks. Operation Lion Claws 18, Sovereign Nation, May 24th to 26th. In the Pacific region, this is a Lion Claws event at George Air Force Base in Victorville, California. One could say Victorville's...
I'm like,
Victorville's a nice place out there. It's really cool. I like it. It's the desert, but it's cool.
dude,
it's the town bicycle.
If you-
Everybody's ridden it.
it's a
But it's
big
still a good
AO.
place.
It's pretty cool. But if you can walk away from there without getting a tetanus shot, big thumbs up.
Well,
If I can drive a vehicle through a building,
Oh,
you might get my attention.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Broken Home 8, Civilian Crisis, May 24th to 26th in the Midwest region, American Milsim event at D-Day Adventure Park in Wyandotte, Oklahoma.
Yes, I will be commanding one of the civilian provinces at that event.
Nice.
So, yes.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps it up for our event segment. Had to give a shout out to everyone that we sponsor and all our partners out there sharing their events. So, me, here's enemy, me, push, teammates, no! Cowbunga it is! Nice. Nice. Well, thank you for joining us tonight, Alex. Appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you for
Thanks so much.
telling us more about, the retail operation, the open plays, the Milsim events that you do at multiple locations to, just spread the wealth, spread the love. Rather than just having the same old in the same location. So, Rich Gully, yeah, Rob will be a hillbilly commanding the hill people. Rich, we're on the same team this time.
you command the crab people next time?
You're gonna have like those he's touching me cards. You got your safety cards.
Show me on the doll. Where
Show
it
me
hurts.
on the doll where the hill person raped you.
Yeah. All right, Alex. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for all the information. Where can people find you on social medias?
So we have our Instagram, MiR Tactical, MiR_Tactical, MiR Tactical's Facebook page, always active. Check out our event pages. Check out MiRTactical.com, MiRTactical.com/events for everything happening within MiR Tactical. Thank you guys again. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. This has been the Valken Debrief Airsoft live show. We will be back next week with episode number 80 with Centurion Milsim. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a good one.
Are we going? What's going on, guys? It's Nigel with Elite Force. Check out the Valken Debrief. Debrief? Try one more time. Check out my briefs. Check out the briefs.
That's so great. See, once I knew what I was doing.
And those are my guys, actually. It's just,
Where's kids? Hi, it's Jonathan from Airsoftology. I'm really camera shy, but you're watching the Valken Debrief.
So, we'd like to give you a small gift box. Stop filming!
Hey, it's Kaiju. I'm the Supreme Commander. That's what I am.